Hey guys, it's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe, and I wanted to do a video, hopefully not very long, in regards to my top 20 favorite films. And this video, I think, started from the happy console gamer Johnny Millennium. It was then picked up by my buddy Joe, XCornMuffinX, Sega of My House, and as of this morning, PlayOnGo. So I am responding to, I guess, Joe, because he's the one that I saw first, even though it started with Happy Console Gamer. So it's a video response to my buddy Joe. This is going to be a really quick video, because my top favorite 20 films I can't show on camera due to YouTube having, you know, all this blocking of nudity and you know, vulgarities and things like that. So it's Backdoor Sluts 1 through 20. Thanks guys for watching. It's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. Be good. No, just kidding. Okay, obviously it's a joke. I told my friend about this, my friend Brian. He was like, Backdoor Sluts 9? And I was like, oh man, this is great. I'm going to put that in there. Okay, so we'll kick the movies off with movies I've talked about the most. I mean, these are kind of in no particular order, and to be honest, it was easy to pick a top 10. I had my top 10 down quick. Once I got into 20, there were those movies that are sort of meddling on, like, I really like them a lot, they're good but they're not great, you know, where are they in this top 20? And that's where it started to get kind of difficult. So I have a list here of 20. Some of them are in a series, so, you know, I don't know how you want to work with that. So let's let me pull out like 5 right now, and we'll go from there. How about that? As long as I don't drop them all. Okay, so one of my favorite movies that you've probably heard me talk about more than once is Brazil. Brazil is a film by Terry Gilliam. He did other great movies such as 12 Monkeys, Tideland was pretty good, The Brothers Grimm. He's done a lot of films. And Brazil's a movie from the late 70s, I want to say. 70... It says here 85, but what I want to say it was... Maybe I'm wrong, maybe it is 85. Either way, it's a movie about this guy who's kind of bored of the humdrum, you know, the doldrums of life. Everything's the same crap over and over every day. And he's like he has a big imagination. He fantasizes about things, and all this crazy stuff starts happening. The best genre I would put in is kind of like a dark comedy. It's sort of fucked up, sort of creepy in a way, but really more funny. It takes very big jabs at the government and how stupid they are. And it has this like futuristic look to it, but some of the stuff looks very old-fashioned. So it's got a great mix of that. And it's just a great film. It's very hard to explain all these movies in depth. So I'm going to just give a brief synopsis about each of them, so this video isn't like 2 hours. So Brazil is definitely top 5, one of my favorite films. I think I have something on my face. Number 2 here, which again, like I said, no particular order, is Planet of the Apes. Planet of the Apes is a great social commentary movie about apes and humans coexisting. The whole story starts from Charlton Heston and his group of astronauts going to the Planet of the Apes. I don't want to give away too much in case you've never seen the films. And his comrades end up not making it in some form or another, but he does, and he becomes a slave, and then they realize he can speak, and they don't understand how come humans can speak, and they always thought they were stupid, and this and that. And it's just a big social commentary. It's a great sci-fi film. The makeup back then, this was the one I was thinking of probably from the 70s, the makeup back then was like amazing. I mean, it took like hours and hours and hours to do. Now, especially on Blu-ray, you can see, like, that's not an ape, that's a human with a funny mask on, but it still looks great. Great commentaries. This is the first 5 films. I also do enjoy the remakes with James Franco, and then the newer one with Gary Oldman, but or not remakes, reboots. But my favorite is 1. 2 was pretty good. 3 I liked a lot. 4 was pretty good, and then 5 was good too, but it got kind of cheesier near the end. But I'd say like 1 and 3 are probably my favorite. They all feel very different though. Some of them are more serious, some of them are a little more goofy, but they always have kind of a dark overtone and some kind of commentary to them. Another one of my favorite films, which I've spoken about often, is The Lost Boys. They've since made 2 sequels, The Tribe and The Thirst. Those are pretty good. I think they're decent. I wouldn't call them bad, but they don't compare to the original. This was like my favorite movie as a kid. This and The Goonies, which is coming up in this list. It's a kind of teeny bopper vampire movie, but it's a little dark, still has humor, great soundtrack, like great music. You know, a cool like 80s kind of sense of style, even though it's got that like 80s cheese. If you like vampire movies, if you like Corey Haim, Corey Feldman, Kiefer Sutherland, Jason Patric, I mean, the cast is just great. Jamie Gertz, Alex Winter from Bill and Ted, you know, all that. They're all in this, so check it out. Hey, look, Mario's here visiting us. Hey, buddy. Wanna be on camera for a second? I let him out when doing a video, so that he doesn't bang into the wall over and over and over and over because he walks around all day, and then in the video you'll hear him. So there's your 15 minutes fame, buddy. I'll put you back down on the floor for now. It's not a zoo. I don't just have animals crawling all over the place, I promise. One of my definite top favorite films of all time, The Road Warrior. I love Mel Gibson. As a kid, I used to watch this movie. I probably shouldn't have been watching this movie as a kid. It is a post-apocalyptic film about the road warrior, Mel Gibson, kind of just trying to make it through, because in Australia, everything is now destroyed. There's like little renegade camps of people trying to survive, attacking each other, trying to fight over gasoline, or as they call it, guzzolene. And if you've seen the new movie with Tom Hardy, great movie. This is still my favorite, though, in the series. The Road Warrior is just amazing. It's got action, it's got like a darkness, a grit to it, a fucked up feeling when you watch it, and it's definitely one of the best post-apocalyptic movies I've ever seen. Probably the best. I can't really think of much else in terms of like top post-apocalyptic movies. Otherwise, it would be in my my list here. Another one of my favorite films, which is also by Terry Gilliam, I'm a huge fan, admittedly, is Zero Theorem. Zero Theorem is like a futuristic movie about this guy, Cohen Leth. He works for, and I've spoken about this movie in depth before, he works for a company that is trying to find the Zero Theorem. The company's run by Matt Damon in a very quirky role that usually you don't see him in. And while doing this, he's trying to find the meaning of life. The movie starts out with him getting a phone call, and he's waiting for another phone call because he knew the meaning of life was going to come via a phone call. And he got so excited when he picked up the phone, he dropped the phone, it disconnected, and he never got his call. So, sort of in line with Brazil, Time Bandits, it's a kind of about like imagination. It also, this movie came to me at a very difficult time in my life, and tied in with a lot of what I had going on, and really helped me. That's going to sound kind of weird if you see this film. If we're buddies and you want to ask me why, I have no problem telling you. I'm not going to just start spewing it out on YouTube. But it's a great film. It's slow. It's kind of dark. It's very quirky and weird. It does have like a black comedy humor sort of to it. Lots of like hidden meanings and interesting stuff going on. Great cast with Christoph Waltz and Melanie Thierry. So it's just a great movie. If you like Brazil, you will probably like Zero Theorem. If you don't, you probably won't. Aha, here are some more of my favorite films. Jacob's Ladder. This is a great movie about a guy that comes back from Vietnam and starts having these horrific hallucinations, seeing demons and all this evil shit, and he's trying to figure out why. It's got a great sense of dread and creepiness to it. A lot of Silent Hill, the games, and the movie pulled from this movie. So if you like that stuff, check this out. Jacob's Ladder is definitely one of my favorite horror films. And, excuse me, to keep in touch with one of my favorite horror films, The Exorcist. This is a classic. If you haven't seen this, I don't know what to say at this point. Girl gets possessed. She's in the bed, spewing all anti-religious shit, you know, screwing a crucifix and puking up green pea soup. It's a great movie. It's super fucking creepy. Even till this day, I find it creepy. The third one is also in this package, which is also one of my favorite films, which is funny because I came across a Facebook post I had done when I first seen it 4 or 5 years ago, and I kind of like went, it was okay, but I guess it grew on me because I love that movie. The third one is more like a detective story. The demon from the first film they think is in someone else, and it was really interesting, and more like a detective film. It's kind of broadens the movie from just one room with this evil person to, well, there's just also still is one room with an evil person, but it kind of is like a broader movie. 1 and 3 are my favorites. I think they're creepy, I think they're interesting, they're dark, and they just keep you thinking, and I like movies like that. Which made me think, I forgot one of my DVDs in the back, but oh well. Another one of my favorite movies, I'm going to pull these both out at the same time actually, is The Wicker Man. The Wicker Man is a sort of mystery horror movie, I guess, with this detective who has to go to this island to find this missing girl. He gets wrapped up in this bigger thing than he realizes. This was remade a couple of years back with Nicolas Cage in it. It was okay. People really kicked the shit out of him for it. I thought it was okay, but nothing compares to the original. That when a movie is so good, why are you remaking it? Why the fuck did they remake RoboCop and like Total Recall and Wicker Man? They should remake shit that sucked, that like had a great idea and just didn't have the budget. Like, it's just so dumb. So anyway, it's kind of like a mystery movie. It does turn sort of horror-ish. It's very weird. One of those movies that kind of sits with you, I guess, afterwards. And I really love The Wicker Man, so check that out. We're going to throw these together, even though they're very different. Snatch is one of my favorite movies. It's by Guy Ritchie. It is a like British mob movie with tons of people in this cast who are kind of vying for the same thing. I think they're chasing a stolen jewel that's worth like millions and millions of dollars. And Brad Pitt's in it. Benicio del Toro, Jason Statham in one of his like more prominent roles, Vinnie Jones. There's a lot of, you know, big actors. Dennis Farina in this, and if you don't mind British like humor and slang, and you can understand the accent, it's really funny. I guess I would put it in lines with like a mob film with comedy in it. I guess I don't even know what I would classify it as, but it's a great movie. My description is definitely not doing it justice. And if you've seen his previous film, like Lock, Stock, and Three Smoking Barrels? 2 Smoking Barrels, whatever. That was sort of like a preemptive version of this, that he like didn't have the budget almost, and he made that movie and it was good, but then he made this and it was really great. The characters are just awesome. You know, they just, it's hard to put a movie with so many characters and make you like each one of them and flesh them all out, and then they all tie in weird ways. So very cool. I like movies like that. One of my other favorite films by Guy Ritchie, which got really the shit kicked out of it, and I've talked about it a lot on this channel before, is Revolver. Revolver is sort of like a mob movie. It also stars Jason Statham in a role that I've never seen him in before, something like this. And he's involved in this, he's kind of like I think, professional gambler. He's also like doing kind of like shady side jobs and things. And long story short, he goes to prison, he gets out of prison, and he joins up with Vincent Pastore from Sopranos, Big Pussy, and Andre 5000 from Outcast. And he's in this, now they're forcing him to be part of like their loan shark shakedown group. And there's just this big story involved. Great twists, great twist ending. It has a lot of Kabbalah shit in it because he was married to Madonna at this point. So there's a lot of like hidden meanings and weird stuff happening. Not weird like insane, just weird like explained further in, you know, on the internet or maybe a second watch. But it's all about like the ego and the superego and what is really important in life, which a lot of these movies like Brazil and Zero Theorem are sort of like that as well in a way. Let me pause the camera for a moment, I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that guys, I saw Mario scamper off into the bedroom, and those who don't have tortoises, they can take humongous shits, and I did not want him shitting on the rug, the carpet. It's the only room with a carpet in it, so yeah. All right, let's continue this here. Got a few left. Things started kind of getting tough for me around this area of picking films. There's some in here that I would even... I'm on the fence with saying what is in the top 20. I mean, these are all just great movies. So, here we go. Chopper. And I've spoken about this at length on this channel before. It is a semi... fictitious documentary about, not documentary, but like based on, you know, biography wise, Chopper Reed. He was Australia's biggest and most famous criminal at one point. Maybe not biggest, but most famous. He had like this very funny sense of humor. He would just do crazy, outlandish shit. He's written many books. He's dead now. He died from cancer because he had hepatitis. He wrote a lot of books. His books were hysterical, but like dark. Like he talks about killing people and doing certain things, ripping people's like toenails out, and you know, cutting their toes off and stuff. But he's like so charismatic that it's funny. His humor is so funny. He sort of reminds me of like a deranged version of like someone in my family, where like they say things and do things that are like off the wall, but this guy is nutty and will hurt you. However, he has always stated in his books and his movie that he only goes after bad people. He would never just randomly walk down the street and kill someone. He was in like a lot of gangs and like the seedy underbelly of Australia. It's a great film. It is so cool. Violence and humor that you shouldn't find humor in, but you do, even though it's fucked up. I've read one of his books. I've seen a bunch of his documentaries. He's been made fun of on Australian like comedy networks and stuff. I have his autograph, 1, 2, 3 of them behind me, behind you. It's just he's awesome. He was very amusing, and he kind of comes from this old school, but also just really knows how to like. What was one of his favorite sayings? Never let the truth get in the way of a good yarn. There you go. But check out Chopper if you haven't seen it. It's a great movie. I mean, if you like things like Goodfellas, you'll like it. If you like things like, I don't know, Snatch, you'll like it. It kind of covers lots of genres because of how weird it is. When I say weird, I don't mean Southland Tales, Videodrome, David Cronenberg-ish weird. I mean, it sort of goes across different genres. Another one of my favorite movies that I've again spoke about at length is Nirvana. Nirvana is a great cyberpunk movie. It has such a great feeling and ambiance to it. It's a story about Christopher Lambert trying to find his wife who had ran off because she was unhappy. At the same time, he's trying to find his own inner peace. So, hence the name Nirvana. He befriends a bunch of hackers, not a couple hackers. He goes throughout these like places, all the while he is a video game creator, and his video game gets a virus and becomes self-aware. And now the video game is also looking for release and looking to get out, the character's looking to get out of the game and for him to delete the game. So he's got kind of a couple different tasks at hand. The setting and the scenery is awesome. I love the like futuristic part of it. It's one of my favorite cyberpunk movies. Like, I love The Matrix and I love like Giant Mnemonic and stuff like that, but this really does it for me. It's got some great hidden meanings to it, or great, you know, things you can look deeper into in terms of finding your own enlightenment, if you will. But it's really off everyone's radar. The director's cut's even better than this one. I didn't bring that one out. That one I have is from Italy. There's a naked woman on the front, so maybe it's better I didn't bring that one out. This is the American version, which is cut up a little bit and the music's a little different. But if you could check it out, I would go with the director's cut. This one is great, but the director's cut's better. Now, we'll stick with Cyberpunk. Giant Mnemonic. Giant Mnemonic is a cheesy William Gibson short story. It didn't start out as a cheesy short story. The movie turned it cheesy. There's a Japanese version called JM, and that one is the director's cut, and it's better. However, they never released that here, so I only have this version. Keanu Reeves, he is a futuristic data courier who put a hard drive in his brain and is able to store information and go across like state and country lines and whatever, and then download it for people. So he's an illegal courier, but his hard drive is in his head. He meets a cast of characters. There's this whole anti-government sentiment going on, people chasing him for the data that's in his head, and on top of that, the data in his head is past the capacity of his hard drive space. So he's like dying at the same time. It's definitely cheesy and corny. It's not like a serious cyberpunk movie. I wish they had made it more serious, and I wish that the director's cut from Japan did come here, but I still love this movie. Every few months, I will just throw this on at like midnight and kick back and watch it, and it's just cool. It's got cool futuristic tech in it. I love Keanu Reeves. I'm a huge fan. So it's just a great movie. This is where it starts getting really difficult for me. The Goonies. The Goonies is a great kids movie, but also really fun for adults, about this group of kids called the Goonies going out on an adventure to find a pirate treasure from a pirate named One-Eyed Willie, because this rich asshole is coming in and buying up the town, and I guess the parents can't afford to live there any longer and whatever. Excuse me. It's from Steven Spielberg, so it has that charm going on. So if you like E.T. and all that other stuff he did, you'll probably like the Goonies. I will say, this is something you probably appreciate more if you were a kid and you saw it, or if you're a parent now and you're watching it with your kid. If you're in your 20s and you've never seen it, you might just think it's a stupid kids movie. But if you saw things like Super 8 and you enjoyed them, or Turbo Kid, you'll probably like the Goonies. It's a really great movie. A lot of awesome people, great cast. Corey Feldman's in this one, and Sean Astin, who played Rudy, he's in this one as well. I am so on the fence with these two here that I actually put one on the side and I'm not sure which one to pull. So that's going to be an on-the-spot type of thing. One of my other favorite movies, and definitely hands down my favorite Christmas movie, Scrooged. Scrooged is a dark comedy. There it's picking up his face for some reason. It's a dark comedy with Bill Murray, where he runs a TV station, and he's kind of like a burnt-out power maniac asshole, and he just treats everyone like shit, including his own family, his co-workers, everyone. And he gets visited by a ghost, and the ghost informs him he's gonna have to change his life, and he's gonna get visited by, just like Scrooge, the ghost of Christmas past, present, and future, to show him how bad things will turn out if he doesn't change. And it's a very funny movie, but it's also dark and sort of creepy in a way. And as a kid, this really sat with me. So as a kid, when I saw something creepy and it sat with me, I loved it. Hence Scrooge and the Road Warrior with all the dark themes. It's a great Christmas film. I don't know how young I would say you should watch. If you have kids, I don't know if they like this. Maybe teenager, but great movie. Let's see here. I have to go in with this. Come on, guys. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. I'm going to just use them as one because it's a series. I know that's cheating. It's one of Keanu Reeves' major roles ever. Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter, along with George Carlin, being their backup buddy. And they are able to go back through time and forward with a phone booth that travels through time. This has had a lot of stuff now, comics and a Nintendo game, an Atari Lynx game. It's really goofy, really funny. They meet a bunch of historical figures. Bogus Journey is excellent in that they go to hell. They get killed and they go to hell, and they have to work their way out of hell. And they befriend the Grim Reaper and have to beat him by playing him in a bunch of board games. And when they beat him, they befriend him, and then they have to go stop the people that are going to ruin the future, or the guy that's going to ruin the future. So if you haven't seen Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure or Bogus Journey, check those out. Supposedly he's working on number 3 right now, but I've been hearing that for 15 years, so I doubt that it's going to be anytime soon. This is a weird one, and this one's definitely not for young people. Bad Lieutenant. Bad Lieutenant's an Abel Ferrara film, probably his biggest film. He did a lot of weird films like Crash, not the one that was popular years ago. Shivers. He's done so many movies, but a lot of them are weird. Very violent, fucked up. He did one with Madonna and Harvey Keitel. oh shit, what's the name of it? That was pretty good. Most of the time when I check out his films, I always like them. There's something I always like about them. He did New Rose Hotel, which was a William Gibson story he converted to a movie. But this is my favorite of his. It's a really fucked up movie about Harvey Keitel is a bad lieutenant. And he does drugs and he drinks and he steals shit from robbers, like steals the drugs from them and steals money off them and picks up hookers and does crack and whatever else. He's naked in the film, which sucks. You don't know whether he's going to kind of change his life around mid-film or just continue down his bad path. The movie ends on a very different note that you would expect it to. If you like movies like Taxi Driver, I can definitely recommend Bad Lieutenant. I like it better than Taxi Driver, but that's something I would probably closest say it resembles. We're getting down to the really hard ones here. Shit. I'm going to pick a couple here, and then I'm just going to randomly name off the others that are like runners-up to being in my favorite films. It's just hard now because you're at that, like I said, that bottom point where you love these movies, they're really good, but they're not in your top 10, but where are they in your top 20, you know? Danny Deckchair. Danny Deckchair is an Australian movie that I saw on a bus ride on the way to Atlantic City with my friend Timmy. And I've spoken about this before, I have a whole video about it. It's about Rhys Ifans and how he's kind of unhappy with his life. I think he's kind of unhappy with his job. His girlfriend or his fiance is kind of a bitch. And to kind of, he realizes she's sort of like talking up this other guy who's very like famous in the town. He says, you know what, screw it. And he puts a bunch of balloons on a chair. And this is based off of a true story loosely. He floats away and goes to another county. And ends up there, and they can't find him in the first county, and they don't know where he is. They don't know if he fell and he died. And in real life, a guy did do this. I don't think he went as far as he did in the movie, but like I said, it's loosely based on it. And he ends up falling in love with this woman and starts this whole new life. And he's like happy for once, and it's just really cool. It's a cute movie. I'd say it's good for like if you have a girlfriend or a wife. I think they'd like it. It's funny. It's got some quirky humor to it. It's really underrated. Check out Danny Deckchair if you haven't seen it. God, this is tough. This is really tough. Let's stick with humor. How about that? So for number 20, Be Kind, Rewind. Be Kind, Rewind is awesome because it sort of has that feeling of like an 80s type movie, but it's not. It has Mos Def and Jack Black, and they work in a video store that Danny Glover owns, and they rent VHS tapes, and the town is kind of, the city they live in New Jersey somewhere, I can't think of the name off the top of my head, is sort of going under. It's sort of becoming a bad neighborhood. People are renting less and less VHS tapes, of course. They're competing with things like, like Blockbuster type places that are renting DVDs. Blu-rays weren't out yet, which is funny because this is on Blu-ray. Why is my nose so itchy today? It's a really cute movie. To make money for the store and try and not get shut down, they create their own independent films based on real films like RoboCop and The Island of Dr. Moreau, Rush Hour, and they like act out these other movies, and it's really cute and really funny. It has a sadness to it, like a looming sadness to the movie. I just like how this movie kind of feels, and a lot of these movies are like that for me. It depends on when you watch them, either in your point of life or the time of day. Certain movies do it for me when I watch them at certain times of day. So Be Kind, Rewind is just really funny. And again, this one also I think would be good for a couple. If you have a wife or a girlfriend, I think they'd find it cute. If you like old movies, like 80s movies and 90s movies and VHS tapes, and you have like a sort of nostalgic feeling for that stuff, check out Be Kind, Rewind. People don't talk about it enough. Okay, those are my 20. These are the ones that were going to be 18, 19, and 20, and I just didn't know what to do with them. So I'm not going to describe them. I'm just going to show you them and say the name. Mad Max Fury Road. Falling Down. Videodrome. Great for a late night viewing. Cyberpunk, weird David Lynch shit, awesome. Pumpkinhead, one of my favorite horror movies, and one of my favorite horror villains. Suspiria, one of my favorite horror movies. Mother Night, great Kurt Vonnegut book that was transferred over to a movie. Awesome, awesome movie. Hackers. Cheesy like Johnny Mnemonic, but about teenagers, not about the future, about the present, or the 90s, I guess. Really cheesy, but fun. Hot Tub Time Machine. Has that Be Kind Rewind vibe with the 80s or the old-fashioned feel. I love this movie. My buddy Tom at the tattoo shop hates it and said the 80s were not like this, but to me it's really funny, the movie. Great sense of humor, great characters. Check out Hot Tub Time Machine. Constantine with Keanu Reeves. Conan the Barbarian. I would also include Conan the Destroyer in this, which is a little cheesier. The Matrix films. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Raging Bull, a great Martin Scorsese biopic about Jake LaMotta, who you will see a statue right here and his signature. Goodfellas, a great Martin Scorsese film about the mob based on a true story. Big Trouble in Little China, all that encompasses the 80s, with Kurt Russell and created by John Carpenter. That's all you really have to say about that one. Blue Velvet, another awesome David Lynch movie. He's done many great, films. Did I say David Lynch when I said Videodrome? I don't know if I did. I might have misspoke. It's David Cronenberg. Excuse me on that if I said it wrong. RoboCop. Number 1 is amazing. 2 and 3 are okay. 1 is where it's at. This movie was great and still is. And finally, They Live. This is with the late Roddy Piper, another John Carpenter film. Has a cheesy 80s feel, great sci-fi movie. It's a knock at a certain political group, but it seems like that group's affiliation has now switched, so it's kind of always stands the test of time with different politics going on. So I hope you guys liked my top 20 and then the other 20 runner-ups. I don't even know what to say at this point. I just pulled out so many movies. If you have any questions about a specific one, let me know. If there's ones that you absolutely love, you want to let me know about that are similar, please do. Thanks guys for watching. It's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. Be good.